AI clone for every teacher on the platform.
Wow.
And this is how one great teacher becomes many. To be $500 billion with 60% of it coming from education.
What? I knew the numbers, but I didn't know that 50% of it was coming from education. 60.
60.
It's humbling. And so many areas that I did not know existed. I did not know that. I'm like, oh, there's actually technology for this. Hi everyone, so excited to be here today. So we're back in London and I cannot tell you how in love I am with the city. I hope it adopts me one day. It is gonna be my secret city to hide from my family every once in a while. No, I'm joking, I love them. Mommy loves you and you're here now. I am super thrilled because I am with two amazing humans and leaders that I met last time I was here in London. Kate is a founder of an EdTech company, Amazy.uk, that I am a super big fan of. Also, she is like a mentor for me, and she doesn't know that, but now she found out. She has been like an amazing force that has pushed me towards heights that I haven't thought of. So I'm always grateful for you for that. And Miracule, he is one of my most special strengths leaders because every time I look at your strengths, I'm like, oh my God, his superpowers. And he drives an international effort with many people, and his influence is incredible in the public sector. So thank you both for being here today.
Thank you, and thank you for having us again. I mean, I've always been fascinated by the work you do and how you conduct your sessions. I was like, well, maybe I'm also informing you now. After my colleagues in Ghana, you wait until you meet Karol, and you'll be like, oh, Miracle, you back there. So yes, maybe one day you get to come to Ghana.
I would love to.
We explore the potential of how this work that you do can expand the horizon of Ghanaian leaders and then people in Ghana who haven't had exposure and awareness of the phenomenal work that you do and how that can transform businesses and also leadership in Ghana.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. No, I would glad to. And that's like one of the beautiful parts about creating this stuff that we do. It's like, EdTech and education, it doesn't limit itself to just like one area. That's why it has become EdTech, because technology allows things to go beyond where we are and beyond where our location. I just came back from Web Summit in Portugal, and just to see the impact that technology has in the whole world, it's humbling. And so many areas that I did not know existed. I did not know that. I'm like, oh, there's actually technology for this. And I'm like, I did not know you could do that. And it's very humbling. And that's why I'm excited to be here with you all. There's a couple of things I want to accomplish today. Both of your experiences are very unique. And I know that for each of you, you're like, what? I do this every day. I do this with my eyes closed. But the world doesn't get to experience the work that you do and the impact that you have in people with the work that you do. The second reason I'm here is like we're launching our own technology to be able to make a larger impact in the world. And even areas that I have had to learn that it's not one of the products, not even my market, but I wanted to create it for a market that is in need, and I wanted your perspective on those things. So I'm excited that you're here, so I can share those with you, get your opinions. But more importantly, I want the world to hear more about you and what you do, and how we can be able to make an impact as leaders in a global setting, in a remote, hybrid, digital work setting. And I know that we both have talked about that plenty. But I want to start with you, Kate. Tell us more about Amazy.uk.
Thank you very much, Karol, for having me today. And I'm super happy to meet you again.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, because this is why I love this entrepreneur community, because you always meet passionate people and you really get more inspiration from them.
Yes.
Yeah, so what we do at Amazy is we develop tools to create and share educational content, to create it quick and smart. So basically with Amazy now you can create lots of different interactive educational materials, share these materials with your classroom, publish it on public community on Amazy, track all the progress, store all the data that you have created, all the content that you have created. And it's a kind of like a workspace for modern education, for educators and schools and institutional and educational businesses. But beyond that, we have a vision. The vision is that because we already have lots of data on the platform that is generated by our users, we do have AI that generates texts.
Yes.
And you can easily create a text with this AI. You can transform this text into an interactive exercise just in a click. But that's not the point. The case is that the teachers, educators, academic managers are the people who are behind this content created on the platform, because they proofread it, they curate all the process, etc., etc. So we have lots of data on what's going on before you start teaching, the pre-production process, before the classroom begins. In the classroom, when the active teaching time begins, and after the lesson is finished. Basically, the way you give feedback as an educator, the way you track progress, the way you plan the next steps. So because we have all this data, the big vision is to collect the data and then to use this data to create an AI clone for every teacher on the platform.
Wow.
And this is how one great teacher becomes many. And they become very affordable for different markets, because as a human being, as a real person, you can charge, let's say, $1,000 per hour for your real time, but your trained army of AI clones, based on your experience, your unique teaching styles, your unique empathy, and your jokes that you make in the classroom, they can charge, you can set a price like, I don't know, $1 per hour, and you can sell this AI clones teaching all over the world.
That is so beautiful.
You can sell them, and like you can collaborate with different schools in different countries and make the best education accessible for people from all around the geographies.
What I think about what you just said is you are making local teachers available everywhere.
Right. And local educational
and local
businesses.
education businesses. And I think about how the impact that has, because I think about my tutors and my teachers that I had when I was young, and how can I wish my kids had that level of instruction, but they are back in Puerto Rico, so they can probably not, or in Dominican Republic too. So like, it's like, I can't get them to come here, but with what you're creating, you're able to use technology to give more opportunities for those learnings to be expanded. Because
learning, and for the learners and for educators as well, because when I'm sleeping, I'm still generating revenue as an educator, because my clones are working for me.
Yes.
And that's amazing. This is the new level of these pre-recorded courses. You know, 20 years ago or 15 years ago, there was this hype about recorded video sessions with the best professors from Harvard University or whatever. But still, now it's the same, but this is live. It's interactivity. This is like, you can interact with this video.
Yes.
Because it reacts on what you're saying. It gives you the jokes.
Yes.
It asks you the questions like, how is your dog? How's your cat? How's your kid? How's your, like, how are you? What's the news? How was your weekend? And
that is so beautiful. Yeah, I love that. And what I always say, and I think I said this in the conference that I attended for Amazy, is that, you know, the key is 70% human intelligence, intellect, emotional intelligence, with 30% AI, right? Like, AI should be the channel that you utilize to bring that human intelligence.
Exactly. Like, you restream yourself.
Yes. I love it. I can talk about this all day. That's the thing. No, but I think it's very important because of the impact that it makes in such a larger scale. But thank you so much for sharing that. Miracule, hey.
Hello.
So Miracule, we just had a conversation before we started about how many different chargers he owns from all the different locations around the world that he visits on a regular basis. So tell us a little bit about what you do and the impact that it has.
Well, so to start with, my former university just recently awarded me for innovation and inspiration.
Oh my God, congratulations.
That's about a month ago. What do? I entered the education space at a time where Ghana was at the cusp of reforming its education, like bringing a lot of changes. There was a curriculum change, there was a shift in teacher training and all of that. Then I asked myself the question, okay, we are doing all this human endeavor, but then at the same time, computers were beginning to become very popular at the time. So I asked myself, okay, I'm a teacher, then there's the new surge of use of technology all over the place, except in my classroom, except in my work. So how do I get into that space? So I enrolled to become a Microsoft certified systems engineer.
Oh, that's
so
Microsoft representing.
Yes. So that led me to the US to then go and take a course in total quality management and information technology. So then I returned to Ghana. I was like, you know what? We've done a lot of these things by hand. But then there's this new phenomenon that is making waves globally. Why are we not considering those for how we train our teachers, how we engage our students? So then I, spiral into the field of education technology, and I started off, and it was just like me talking about education technology. A lot of people were behind, and I was like, wait a minute, what if you form a community around people who are passionate about introducing technology into the education and then using it for work, using it for their professional, for self-study opportunities. So when she mentioned about, professors from Harvard recording, I remember Gilbert Strang, whose video was recorded, and I was watching all the mathematical things Gilbert Strang was doing at the time. So then I got inspired by all of that. Then I said, wait a minute. Becoming a consultant actually came about by chance, because a lot of people are like, oh, you want to talk about technology, call Miracule. If you want. So I got my first contract. It's like, oh, you talk about technology. Can you tell us how it can be applied in education? I was like, okay, let's start with the basic tools of maybe school management, like data, student admission, data, assessment data, how do you collect all of that? So I was doing all of this, and then somehow in 2016, the US government was financing education reform in Ghana, and somehow they just called me out of the blue and asked me, oh, we want to change the curriculum. We want to speak to you about technology integration and then local language for math curriculum. I was like, yeah, that's what I've been doing, so maybe I can help.
Wow.
So then,
it's like that moment when the government calls you to tell you to do everything for. I mean, I cannot imagine.
Exactly. I
That
really
is
couldn't
so
imagine.
awesome.
Yeah, I really couldn't imagine at the time. But that project was went so well that it informed the government to actually reform kindergarten to tertiary education in Ghana. So that became the blueprint for how you transform education, how you reform education, infusing in technology, infusing in teacher training, and programming that sort of addresses the needs of the learners. How do you build a community for the learners? How do you support them using the local resources, the parents in the community stakeholders, and stuff like that. So I ended up building a community of educators who are passionate about technology use. And then that community keeps growing. Currently, we have about 15,000 members in Ghana. And somehow London found me when I decided to pursue a master's program in education technology. So then I started a journey of now applying myself diligently to learning the things I need to know to be able to deliver this whole technology in education. And then I had my master's from Roehampton University. Then I continued to University College London, UCL. And there, my supervisor, who also a mathematician, but has transitioned to EdTech.
Wow.
So then I found an allowance.
Yes. Yes. What a beautiful mix. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I just want to say, I'm letting you talk more because, when you were talking about the impact that you had in the education in Ghana from, K to 12, I get goosebumps, and this is how I know I'm in the right area with EdTech, because the impact that we can do in people's lives through, education is light, right? Knowledge is light. Yeah. So to be able to expand to more and the impact that, one leader, one person can do in their country, it just gave me goosebumps. So thank you for sharing that, sorry, because it's so you can keep going, but I had to stop because I'm it's just everything that we're talking about here is the reason why EdTech for me is such an important area that it has yet to be explored fully. I don't think a lot, I did not know what EdTech was before I started building what I'm building, and then someone said, by the way, you're in EdTech. I'm like, oh, I am? This is what this is? I just needed to create a platform that did this, and I created it, but I wasn't thinking that there was an entire segment, and it made me delve into it. But think about how many people that look like us do not know, or that come from our towns and do not know, and could be something.
And this is now changing. The education is now stepping into the new age because of AI.
Yes. AI is speeding things up.
It's like the Renaissance now.
Yes, the new Renaissance. Sorry, Miracule, keep going.
So that spirit of building a community and then exposing people, creating awareness, is changing lives, not just for these people who come into contact, but the people around them. Because all of a sudden, they see them as a superstar. They become heroes in their communities. Then again, begin to share their passion how technology is transforming the work they do, how technology is transforming how they begin to even plan their lessons, deliver their lesson, and then also create a whole community around that. USAID at the time found me through Facebook. Because Facebook, the time was very vibrant.
Yes.
Whatever I do with my teachers, I post the pictures on Facebook. I write about it and post on Facebook. So when they went on a search to like find Ghanaians doing stuff that could help education, was through a Facebook post. Well, no, I'm no more on Facebook though, but
yes. Don't say that to Kate. She hates Facebook.
Right?
No, she doesn't. But it's like you saying it used to be, and I'm like, I remember those days, and I'm still caught up. But
It's not like that.
It's not like that. Love Facebook, but I think it's more for sharing grandchildren pictures and like and their grandparents like it.
Has grown up.
We have aged a little bit, and now like Instagram is the new thing. So thank you so much for that. I do want to like go into some of the things that, a little bit deeper, but the aspect of the new world, the world changing, and AI coming in and disrupting a new reborn, like Kate just mentioned, and now there's like I have a lot of theories, but I feel like a lot of people believe that, AI is artificial intelligence for real, and iRobot is coming out and taking us all. But that, I went to this talk where this founder said, AI has existed since the first computer was created. So I want your opinion on that, because I think, it is a more complex model that AI is able to calculate at a faster speed. But it's still a computer. Yeah. Like, what are both of your thoughts on that?
Okay, do you want to go first?
Yeah, well, I often talk to teachers and education business leaders about that, because I always start our virtual coffee sessions asking them, do you believe AI will replace teachers? No, it's not going to replace teachers. Now, like, people always, like 90% people respond, I don't believe so. But last year, the answers were different. And I think the point is that we're getting to know the technology closer. Yes. And that's why, because people tend to feel afraid of stuff they don't know yet. And when something new arises and they're like, oh my God, no, iPhone is gonna to fight humans, and they're gonna make this revolution of the war between humans and machines, or like these smartphones or whatever. Yes. No, it's not going to happen, because we learn the technologies, we understand how to work with the technology, and this is how we work together, and technology works for us. It's not vice versa. It's not the human works for technologies. Humans create technologies to make their life easier, our life easier, wealthier, and healthier.
Yes.
This is how it works. And people who say that, no, it's going to replace teachers, they just don't know the process, what is happening inside. Because teaching, if technologies were able to replace teachers, our learners, potential customers, they wouldn't need us. Like long time ago, they would go to the library and read books, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have lots of information around you.
The internet will not exist if we thought that way, right?
So you don't need teacher, because all you need in the classroom, it goes far beyond just sharing knowledge. This is about psychology. This is about emotion. This is about coaching, where you are having this conversation with somebody who says, listen, I know it's hard, but I believe in you and you can do it because you're talented. And I am your teacher. I'm experienced. I've seen this so many times, and I can spot the true talent, like 100%. You are doing great.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I want to, this is so interesting. And I want your opinion, Miracule. This one, I get the same effects from, is AI going to replace coaches? Is AI going to replace coaches? And I'm a coach, an executive coach. I have felt the impact of a coach. I'm here because of a coach today. I almost quit coaching because if it wasn't for another coach that was like, you're crazy, you're not going to quit coaching. And I was like, but I don't know, But what I say is AI will never replace human connection. Absolutely. AI is a tool. And just like the tools I teach in my classes with strengths and talents, you can use it for good or for bad or for whatever. And yes, there's going to be some bad actors out there that are going to, there's a lot of like social media that can come during political times and images and things like that. Yeah. But if it's not through AI, they will use other tools.
Of course.
Like if it's not that, they will find other ways.
AI is not the problem.
It's not the problem. It's how you utilize now.
Yeah.
It needs to be regulated, right?
Yeah.
Like anything else. Like right now, which is one of the things I want to shout about, we created our AI coaching app, which is not a replacement for human connection, which is not a replacement for a coach if you have it, but it is an accessibility issue and an accessibility thing for people that can't afford coaching.
Exactly. Several years ago, there was this article in Financial Times or New
Yeah.
York Times. I don't remember exactly, but it was 2018, and the point that was covered in the article was that the real world is becoming more and more expensive. The real coach is becoming more expensive. The real fitness coach is becoming more expensive, right? At the same time, there are lots of apps that are making it affordable. Education, coaching, medicine, everything.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So that's the point.
And that is absolutely the point. And for us, especially, what I always say is an and. You should definitely have a in-person coach, and have the connection. But this is an additional tool. Or if you're like, I can't afford a coach, we just did a survey with 25 business owners and entrepreneurs at Lisbon in Web Summit. And out of the 25, 16 of them said that they will not get a coach because of financial reasons.
Of course.
Because when you are like, I gotta pay the kids, the bills, the all this stuff. I'm also starting a new business and I'm paying all this money for it. Now on top of that, I have to pay a coach like $100 to $300. It's like, well, now you don't have to necessarily do that because you can use this as a lever, and then when you're ready to engage with a coach, like you can absolutely do that. Do you see, Miracule, AI being a replacement for human connection?
Absolutely not. Why so? I remember from a maths background when the calculators were introduced, right? Everybody thought calculators was going to like replace teachers, math teachers for that matter, and then maybe those who use or do a lot of hand calculation. But today we are here, calculators have even improved. Calculators have capacity to even do programming now. Then we have calculators on our tablets, on our phones, and then even on our laptops that we're using, right? Now, if you look at it, and you rightly nailed it on the head when you mentioned the fact that if you look at what we use it for, because at the end of the day, these technologies are there to help us fast track the work we're doing. Now, if you take technology or AI for that matter, it helps you refine, the things you've produced, make them better. Now, somebody needs to make that input for the AI to refine it or, give alternatives. Until the AI in itself will not generate any ideas.
Yes.
You have to plant something in there which it needs to rework.
You're going to make me say preach in the middle of this thing, and I'm trying to keep it together. Because it's so real.
Yeah. So whatever even the AI turns out, it's because somebody's, if you take the ChatGPTs, you have to prompt it to do something.
You do.
Without your prompt, without the human factor, it will not in itself begin to generate, questions for itself and then begin to answer them. Whatever input is there, it's what we have programmed it to do.
Yes.
Right? And the human factor cannot be taken out. You see, it still need the humans to even make it better.
Yes.
It's in the humans to kind of, direct it where they want it to go. Yes, people might use it for evil, but then we need this whole regulation on proper use of it and then guide people how to use it for, meaningful interventions, things that will have real impact on people's life, that makes life better, that makes living better. And advancing the human spirit generally is why we have these technologies in place. And if you look at what we are starting on the Coach AI, it's exactly the same thing. People will not be able to maybe travel to the US to meet with you or may not be able to have a chance to be here with you in person.
So we have right now like 60 pages worth of like background information for the AI, 60 years of coaching experience, like just embedded, plus the fact that it needs to have an empathetic language. That was hard to build because I'm like, how do you build an empathetic language? Like, it comes natural to some people. Only 8% of people are born with natural born empathy in them.
Right.
Out of 40 million people who have taken the assessment for Gallup, only 8% have empathy in their top 5. Like, think about it. That's crazy, right? That means the other 92% of us, and we're human, we're not AI. The other, another 2% of us have to work at putting ourselves in someone else's shoes actively, right? So imagine, how do you teach AI that? And that's the part where, like, I feel like the reason this is so important that we're all having this conversation, we are minorities in the AI space right now. There's not enough women. There's not enough people of color, black people. There's not enough Latinos. I want the fear of using this tool to go away, because it will hinder educators like the ones you work with, countries like the ones we work with. Like it's important to kind of diminish that. The other thing that we are big on, and this is something that our developer was like, thank you for doing this. Like he even used this in one of his conferences as an example of the responsible AI in the back end. When life coaching start turning into therapy needs or start turning into mental illnesses, we have guides that will take them to other partners, to other websites, to other places to search the right amount of help. We don't engage in conversations on harming yourself and others. The AI has been trained for that. That's what AI responsibility looks like. Thinking a step further on where your line is drawn and how are we helping people get help after that. I, for me, believe that's a superpower that we have, you know, in the EdTech space, is educating people to get the right help.
Yeah. I mean, right on point, because when it comes to education, and then if you look at the global south, education in the global south is still evolving, and a lot of the things are things we've imported from the global north to the global south, okay? And you ask yourself, what it goes from the global south to the global north? Because there are indigenous knowledge that people within the global south have so much about. But that is also not so much represented, as you mentioned, that we're in the minority. Now, if you look at addressing the needs of people from the global south or people from the minority, this is where the AI becomes very useful, because then you can collect data to program the AI to identify how, if people begin to use these words, probably coming from this environment. Okay?
Yes.
If you begin to detect these scenarios in people's conversation, then they're coming from this part of the world. Now, that helps, distinguish between how you approach various individuals, cultures, and the societies. And that's what the AI helps you to decipher and then be able to program it to respond to the needs of the people as they begin to interact. And you can't be in all places.
Yes.
But then the technology can be.
It can be.
Yeah.
And it can be available 24/7.
Exactly.
So that's something that we're passionate about, because so at work, and we talk about this with your natural born talents, we explore many options. It's like, what happens when you're mad at John and you're going to tell John off, right? And then you reach out to your coach and it's like, yeah, I have availability next week. It's like, well, nah, I'm about to tell John about himself right now, So we're like, this is where our app comes into place, because you will go back to the app and say, hey, remember John? And the app will be like, oh yeah, how's it going? And you're like, I'm about to say a couple of things to John that he don't want to know. And the app's going to be like, that's not a good idea,
Right.
And at least it stopped you in your, because it's also a very unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
The app doesn't know John, right? And I feel terrible. I do have a John coworker, but I actually like him. So it's just the example that came to mind. So, but yeah, I think that to your point, your educators, right? They're in different time zones. Yes. And I think how, I want to hear your, because it's going to have a big impact on this educator now that someone from Asia, they're in America, but someone from Asia now can benefit from your knowledge because they're in a different time zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you are sleeping and still generating money.
And still
that's the difference.
Money.
Well, now we are also we are witnessing this transition, the teacherpreneurs, educators to creators, and the difference between a freelancer, in this case, and a creator is not because creator is posting lots of content on social media. It's because creator is still making money while they're not actively working.
Yes.
And the freelancer, to make money, they need to work. They need to go there, either in person or online. They need to be there. Yes. If they get sick, they are not generating any revenue, and that's the point. That's the problem. but they still have family to support. They have like rent to pay, whatever. They have expenses.
Yes.
So that's why this tool will allow the educators to transit to this creator economy market, which is projected to be $500 billion, with 60% of it coming from education.
What? I knew the numbers, but I didn't know that 50% of it was coming from education. 60.
60 will be coming. By 2027.
Yes.
Because every influencer now, every person who is out there having their audience, they are monetizing more and more of their like educational products, you know. My course on like lifestyle, on making beautiful pictures, on whatever makeup or cooking or anything.
Yes.
You are teaching every skill you have, like that's how you monetize your knowledge in front of your audience. Imagine if you can add your clone to this.
Yes.
And you can sell it in several packages. You know, this Instagram influencer, join my course, several packages with VIP package for $100,000 with me personal. And then like the silver package, whatever, with my feedback, and the bronze package without anything, just my online materials. Yes. But this also you can add with my AI clone. And then like it's more affordable.
It is more affordable.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is so good that you're saying, because like, so we have from our two tools, we have Coachai, which is more Gen Z, more like life coaching. And then the HiK Coach is actually taking all of the lessons from our trainings and put it in together with the coaching mentality and all the lessons you learn in the back end of that AI coach. And I literally said that to another coach recently. Said, "Oh my God, right?" But in your cases, with the learners and the educators, like the ability they can have that with Amazy, I think that's incredible.
And this is like the whole video conferences with the real, like with the person, my image, my voice, my jokes, my everything.
Yeah.
The way my hairstyle, everything. Yes, with my students in front of me. But this is not real me, because I'm sleeping and there is money coming to my bank account. You know, that's a dream.
That's awesome. Okay, so thank you so much for today. We're gonna continue to do a couple of more exercises, but I wanted to leave this session with two things. One, there is enough room for people that look like us in the AI space. There is more. We need more ideas. We need people changing the way countries think. We need people changing the way education thinks and educators make money. We need people changing support when you need it, when emotional intelligence is not there. We need that. And last, more importantly, you need, this is for me, this is a big lesson. You need a support group.
Yeah.
And you are seeing two people that I have grown to really enjoy our relationships, but also I learn so much. And you're not alone. You can do it together. AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And it's not coming into your kitchen with an iRobot, type of experience. But you decide what you want to do with it. And we need more people with good intentions out here trying to change the world for the better. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you,
Thank
Karol.
you.
Thank you.